Hi there, my name is Yanni, welcome back to my channel. So, if I were to ask you how you live, how you work and operate in your day-to-day life, would you say that you are more of a sprinter or more of a marathon runner? Are you someone who strives in the heat and produces the majority of your work in short, high-intensity bursts? Or are you someone who lives and works more at a lower pace but for a longer period of time? In this video I'll be talking about this idea of being a sprinter versus being a marathoner and sprinting versus running a marathon. I'll talk about what this sports analogy mean, the benefits and negatives of both, which one is better, how should you rest based on your lifestyle, and how to optimize it. So let's get right into the video. So I first encountered this idea of sprinting and resting in 2019 when I first read Dave Asprey's new book called Game Changers. The book is the collection of ideas and lessons from 500 episodes from what was then called Bulletproof Radio. Now it's called Human Upgrade Radio, and I really liked it. The book resonated with me very much, and it taught me a lot new things and how to live and optimize my life so I can overcome everything that I was facing at the time, and it's still one of my favorite books of all time. I'll link the book in the descriptions below so you can check it out. So in the chapter Law 13, don't push yourself for too long, Dave talked about the idea of sprinting and resting, and this was the first time I encountered the idea and it made so much sense. So Dave suggests that we shouldn't push ourselves and our body for too long, because when we do that, our body believes that we are under threat. So instead, Dave suggested that we should become a quote-unquote professional recovery artist. He says, and I quote, "Don't run marathons, sprint, rest, sprint, massively create, massively rest." So if you use the sports analogy, a sprinter is someone who thrives in short, high-intensity bursts of activity. They can be super productive and can produce a lot of work in short periods of time, but these sprints are less frequent and even occasional. Sprinters also thrive in the high energy mode, flow states, and dopamine that is produced from these states. On the other hand, a marathon runner is someone who lives and works at a lower pace but for a longer period of time. They tend to be more consistent and get the reward feeling with achieving small, consistent daily work and accomplishment. One of the reasons I think that Dave's idea of sprinting and resting resonated with me so much is because by nature I'm a sprinter. As a kid I played football, but then I switched to volleyball, partially because volleyball consists of short, intense bursts of performance and action. And also I found football a bit boring because it was too much of endurance sports and there wasn't enough action. I also never liked running or cycling. In the gym I always preferred and enjoyed strength-based training, Olympic weightlifting, which both consists of high bursts of performance followed by longer and extended periods of rest. Also, since I can remember, I always pushed back and delayed studying and did my best work in fewer bursts of intense sessions. It's partially because I like the feeling of adrenaline and flow when I have to give it all and I have to give it my best. I also thrive under pressure and deliver best work when I am under, let's say, deadline. So at this point you might be wondering what is better. Is it better to be a sprinter or a marathoner? So there is no simple answer to the question whether it's better to be a sprinter or a marathon runner. Both have their pros and cons. As a sprinter you're more likely to go into higher reps, drain your energy too quickly and go to the edge of burnout more easily and quickly. As a marathoner, however, it's easier to keep the intensity too high for too long. When you get caught in that low, stressed out state where your body is pumping out stress hormones and you're fueled by cortisol, adrenaline and norepinephrine, it's really hard to break that cycle and relax, rejuvenate, and this is the way towards the burnout. So in the case of preventing burnout and especially recovery from burnout, you might be in danger on both sides, whether you're a sprinter or a marathon runner. But no matter if you're a sprinter or a marathon runner, you have to and need to pay attention to get enough rest in order to recover, replenish your energy stores, and prevent burnout from occurring. So now let's talk about how to rest accordingly to your lifestyle type. So how much, how often, and how intensively you should rest depends on whether you are a sprinter or a marathon runner. If you are a marathon runner, you need less periods of intense rest. But if you're a sprinter, you have to compensate high intensity bursts of productivity and performance with more frequent periods of intense and longer rest and downtime. So if you're a sprinter, and if you paid close attention to the beginning of the video, Dave Asprey gave the quote-unquote rest formula for sprinter, and that is sprint, rest, sprint, massively create, massively rest, and then massively create. When you think about it, it's so obvious and self-evident, but it's so easy to neglect this fact and get into that always grind, always hustle mode. So instead of being either a sprinter or a marathoner, you become a marathon sprinter, which is the recipe for disaster and burnout. In my life, I've been and still sometimes am guilty of that. It's so easy for me, like for many other people, to get into that flow when I'm feeling good, to just keep sprinting and working at my almost capacity until I'm forced to slow down and really rest and prevent burnout from occurring. So to answer the question, which one is better? Is it better to be a sprinter and live your life sprinting? Or is it better to be a marathon runner and live your life running at a slower pace? At the end of the day, I think it depends on the person and its lifestyle. It's about becoming aware of who you are, the situation and phase of your life that you're in, and working with what you have and optimizing it. So my recommendation to you would be to keep your core lifestyle identity, whether you're a sprinter or a marathoner. Be aware of the danger of both lifestyle styles and adjust your pace so you don't run in danger of burnout. It can be very hard and challenging to change your core lifestyle, how you operate in life, and living and doing in a way that is not genuine to you. That can be stressful and can be energy depleted, which can be counterproductive. So for me, I know that deep down I'm still a sprinter. I thrive under real pressure and deadline, and I produce my best work when I'm fully in the flow. But at the same time, I'm aware that my current job, my current work schedule, and because my nervous system and my health benefit from more of a lower pace lifestyle, I try to reduce the amounts of sprints that I do, and I try to, let's say, run more steadily, so do less sprints and run longer distance with less intensity. And I'm also conscious of the fact that when I sprint, I have to take enough quality rest to recharge, to recover. So what about you? Are you a sprinter or a marathoner? Do you prefer working over prolonged periods of time at a lower pace, or complete your life in intense bursts of performance and productivity? Let me know in the comments down below. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please hit the like button. It really helps me to spread my work with burnout and reach more people. Also hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future videos. You can also check out my newsletter called Conquering Burnout and all the social medias. All the links are down below. That's it. Take care, and I'll see you back again soon. Ciao.